Mae, qué heavy estuvo, mae.
Muy buena voz.
Mae, qué heavy estuvo. ¿Qué?
Sí, pichazo, no pude levantarme. ¿No?
¿En serio? Sí.
El verte
Mae,
es tan
estoy llorando casi.
¿En serio? Bueno, ese era el objetivo.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Despite the sun, that's the scorching sun right in the middle, at least finding every bit of shade to remain there. And Bertrand, yes. Valentina was saying that during the shooting it was much more organized and scheduled, but now little by little, now we have everybody here, so please join me in welcoming again the team of Tengo, Sueños, Eléctricos. Congratulations. This was the world premiere, the first public screening of the film, Valentina'S first feature, one of those exceptions that every year or sometimes have first features in competition because they deserve to be there as well. So this is the case. Valentina'S first feature film, after a couple of shorts, including Luciana Limbo, that was at the Semaine de la Critique in Cannes, and that was an antecedent and helped, as it said, it was developing next step. The amazing cast, Reynaldo, Daniela, Vivian. Three producers that joined forces, or the production comes from Costa Rica, Felipe, from Grégoire from France, and Benoit from Belgium. Yes, joining forces to bring this together. Bertrand putting that talent to help create the rhythm through the editing, this very, very particular rhythm. I think that the fact that we took some time, you needed, I think, time after the screening, but I think everyone needed some time also to sort of bring back bring the calm back down. So thank you once again. There's microphones for you to ask questions because, of course, it's the conversation with the audience. Exactly, we're showing the mics. You just raise your hands and the microphone will come to you, thanks to the people that are here, not on its own. And first of all, I was saying this was the first public screening. Who had seen, who was discovering the film on the big screen? Had everyone...
¿Quién estaba escudiendo la peli hoy? ¿Quién la estaba viendo por primera vez?
And I would
raise your hand.
I would love to know your reactions, how you discovered yourselves in the film.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. It was amazing. See the big work that Valentina did. It's amazing how he made this environment to make this work, and this world of where the violence is half a poetry, you know, and that is Costa Rica, and that is a middle class family. So it's amazing the big picture that she made. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised because we my case, I read once the script because that is the method, and that is now I discover why she did that.
Daniela, had you ever seen yourself on the big screen?
Well, no.
Because Daniela is starting out. This was her first role.
Yeah. Well, I was really scared actually because I've never seen myself acting and I didn't see the movie, you know. So I was scared, but you know it was really good. I am very happy, and all the work that we did and the trust that I put in Valentina is just like amazing. You know, I said it before and I said it now. It was amazing to work with Valentina and all the team, because they're amazing people. Every single one of them are amazing, and we create like this space of confidence that it was incredible to work with. So yeah, thank you, Valentina.
Thank you. Reinaldo, it's not the first time you worked with Valentina. You had already worked with her, and now, because also a feature film allows to develop more, it allows also to explore complexity much more. How did you feel? You were quite moved coming out of the screening.
Yeah. Actually, the sensation that I keep is like an iceberg. You know, we only see the small piece of ice over the water, but a big piece of ice under the water, and that's Valentina's work with us in the process, and I'm very pleased with that. It's a big challenge to work with this woman. In this,
Not easy.
it's not easy.
It's not.
But it's life challenge like the movie. Martin is a very complex character, and also is an iceberg. You know, we see him, but under their skin is a very complex world, and that was the big challenge for construct Martin. I'm very shocked. It's the first time that I see the movie, and work of Daniela is amazing too. Yeah. She's the one that hit me. I didn't hit her.
You did an amazing job.
Thank you. Remember, just raise your hands if you want the microphone to be brought to you. But Valentina, and how about you? Of course, I can imagine you had seen in the process 100 times, little by little. But now seeing it there, knowing that it has been such, maybe you can tell us about how long you were developing, how you worked together, and your whole process. They were speaking about the process of constructing the characters together through the acting, but of course this comes already from your writing, working with them, even and editing to reach this, as you said, this part of the iceberg that's emerged, to share it with us.
Well, the whole process, I think it took 3 years or something like that. And I tend to write my scripts focusing on the characters. I like to create characters, and then the script, the structures comes along. You know, I don't think of structure or even subject of the film. It's first the characters, and then the rest emerges somehow. And I'm always surprised something emerges from this chaos of the writing. But so it was hard to allow to cast someone, because I like my characters and I didn't want it to change them so much. So it's hard to, but it's part of the process, and that's what we did. I gave them the characters and they made them their own. I mean, it sounds a bit banal to say this, but it's really what happened. And we worked together before the shooting, of course, a lot, but it was most of all, building some sort of trust, I think, and we didn't work on the scenes, and it was just a bit of allowing ourselves to put ourselves in danger a bit emotionally, and explore also the complex dynamics of violence, how it's not, it could have been tempting to play the part as an, univoque, in a linear character, for Reinaldo. And also for Daniela, it it was challenging, but they built it up together also at some point. They didn't needed me, I felt. I was I was mad they didn't need me anymore.
Thank you. I have to warn that we don't have too much time, so please don't be shy and wait till the moment in which we say now we're going to have to finish to raise your hands and want to ask your questions. So please go ahead. Feel free to share your thoughts and your questions. Otherwise, I mean, we can stay talking a lot, and then you will want to ask when it's too late. We won't have too much time. So before I go, if no one wants, okay. We were talking today about, and because we have the chance of having Bertrand here, of course editing in absolutely every film is essential, but what we were talking about today about this energy that you create in every sense through the the tension and everything, and how it also has to do with the editing, how you reached it with the editing, with kind of camera and everything. So maybe you can tell us about that process, about how much you were deciding in the process, if you had decided that rhythm beforehand, if the work in general to reach that huge tension.
I think the challenge on this movie was not building the tension in the sequence, because in my point of view, they were well written and well played, which means that in some way everything is falling from itself. I think the most challenged part of the movie was not to fall, not to lose the rhythm, and to have the right balance between sequence where there is a lot of energy, and other sequence when it was sorry for my English, what he needed more things to take a long time to be developed. So I think that was the real challenge on the 2 hours feature. We had to get some things off and develop more things and keep the energy sequence and make a little puzzle, sometimes change the order just to keep this flow and having this sensation that it's feeling right the way it's being developed. For my part, I don't know, Valentina, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say the editing was violent, just like the film itself sometimes, because we had to. It was definitely yes. We had to. I mean, it wasn't, the editing wasn't based on the structure of the script so much, on how the story unfolds. It was also like trying to find the right feeling. Sometimes it's more blurry as a way of working, to try to be sure we're feeling something. And we had to kill a few babies. That's how we say it in the editing room, kill your babies. You know, when you have a scene you like, and you know, maybe it's too narrative, maybe it's too it explains too much, maybe you don't feel so much, maybe you have to focus on one character more than the other. So yeah, we killed a few babies, you know.
Because as Bertrand says, you create this balance and this flow. Also, I think one of the bigger challenges, maybe people can share what they felt in that sense, is also that you allow the audience, you give the audience space to breathe and to find their own reaction, instead of guiding it through like as you said, like keeping a certain pace that will guide people's attention, will force them to feel attention, to feel this, that, and not allow them to react.
Yeah, I think like we try in the scenes to have always a balance. Like you don't really know where the scene is going to go to. You know, like the sex scene, you don't know in which feet you're dancing. They say in French.
Do we know where it's going now? I'm not sure about it.
I mean, yeah, okay, we'll talk about it later. But I mean, we always try to keep it ambiguous enough, and that's sort of editing thing, a rhythm thing. So nobody feels we're telling them what to think or to feel about the scene, just let people, take their own stand on what's happening, because that's how reality unfolds itself. It's unstable, it's complex, and so we wanted the scenes to be like this.
Please, if somebody wants to add something from your experience, acting, producing, and the same thing, please feel free to join the conversation. As well as the audience, please feel free to join. There's a hand here, the microphone. You will get the microphone right away because it needs to be recorded. They're bringing it.
I'm curious. Did you work with some professional consultant, like some expert in family violence? Because as a professional, I saw it was very realistic, unfortunately.
Yes, I didn't try to reach out to a professional. I inspired myself from things I know and that I've seen, and I was trying not to be too theoretical about it, precisely because, I tried to write the film without saying, okay, this is a film about domestic violence, or this is a film about violence, because it's a bit too easy to address it that way. It puts a distance, like this is the subject and we're gonna solve it or not, and then we can go home and rest on that. I think the problem with violence, the real one, is that it is complex and it goes through everyone's lives. That's why every character reproduces it a bit also, and so I try not to be theoretical, and I think that's what allowed me to, I mean, as you said, be realistic, I guess. I don't really know, but at least to not to be didactical about it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right here, it's coming from the other side.
¿Dónde está el gato? Where is the cat? Tell us something about the cat.
Temper issue, so he couldn't take the plane, but he's doing fine. He's doing fine. Yes.
Two cats.
Did we use two cats?
No, because at the end.
Oh yeah,
there's a new cat.
There's a new cat. It's true. It's true. Yes. No, not everybody notices, but there is a new cat.
In the newly painted bedroom, in a certain empty space, but ready to receive new dreams. Mm-hmm. Yes, and that. So no, if there's a hand, please. But as you were talking about precisely domestic violence or the violence, and we were talking about this, and you've mentioned now and before this safe space to be able to work. But precisely, how did you approach the atmosphere, knowing that Daniela, as a newcomer and young person, I think, she's going to be exposed to all this. How did you all work through that to also find that balance? Because once you're in it, you need to create a safe space. But then once you're in it, you need for that violence to really reflect in the scene. So if you want to speak about your experience, how that was, please jump in, anyone.
Well, no, I think that, like I said before, the workspace was really good. I mean, it was like a safe space. I did not feel in danger in any of the scenes because Valentina has everything under control, and not only Valentina, but all the cast. All the people that we work with. With the character, I believe that Eva, for me, is like a very personal character, because, well, we all have seen this, the violence. And I believe that in America and in the other part of the world, but my experience in America is like very common, this about the violence. And it's so normal that the people don't think that is something bad, So in like most of the families, the violence exists, and we all have experienced the violence in certain levels, So yeah, building this character was really hard because you realize about a lot of things that you maybe did not know before working, You discover a lot of things, a lot of feelings, emotions, but you work with the people that, I start, of course, loving the people that I work with because we spend a lot of time together. But we start working together and we build this confident place when we could say, no, it's too much. No, it's okay. We can do it more. So that was amazing. Like in the case of Reynaldo, that we work a lot together. We have these special words or key, that we use when it was too much, or when we want to take it to another level, to make it feel and see real, So, yeah, that was like my experience.
We work our bodies to access in this kind of situation, breaking the walls between us and between ourselves, and that was a very important part of the process. Work my body with her body, and experience my violence in her body. That was an important thing, to look the right kind of energy between us. Yeah.
I would add to that, otherwise it sounds very violent as a shooting. But but I mean, we tried to work with the body, it's true, because we didn't want it to work in a psychological way, because we don't believe that's how it works when you're violent, It's pretty irrational, and it escalates from the guts, That's where it comes from, so that's where we had to go and find it, and it was hard because it's some people haven't reached those places, and it's a place. Then after in your life, you know what this place is. You can't really come back from that. Fortunately for us, for personal matters, we kind of knew this place. But I think sometimes people don't. They don't know what it is. So that's why we could work together also. We had our own personal lives, and we could understand the script. So yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah. Someone wanted to add something. Otherwise, I think there's time for one last question before. Yeah. Yes, there's a hand here, and I think before they.
I have a question for Daniela. Do you believe that younger generations are more aware, and that there's more discourse around the topic of domestic violence with respect to older generation? I don't know, with your friends, do you talk more about these kind of things, and consent and things like that?
¿Entendiste? Si pensás que en la gente de tu generación esta discusión sobre la violencia doméstica sucede más que en las generaciones anteriores, y ustedes hablas de eso con tus amigos.
Hay más conciencia sobre la violencia y también el consentimiento.
Yes, well, I believe that it's a reality that this generation is has this in their mind. I mean, it's not as normal as it used to be, but it's there. And I do not believe that it's something about the generation. I believe, well, of course it's about the generation, but I believe that it's about the people that is living this, Because if you're being violented in a way, maybe you don't realize about that. So you realize about this a couple years after that, or in the moment. I mean, it's a really complex process that everyone takes in different levels. So yeah, I believe that. But I believe that this generation is, of course, there's a lot more of carefulness, and everyone is more, everyone thinks more about this. And yeah, I talk about this with my friends, with the other people, because it's something that is bad. It's not good to be violated, but maybe you don't see at the right time or at the right moment. But the important thing is to realize about that, and to believe and to realize that you don't have to allow this, even if it's your dad, even if it's your mom, even if it's your family. I mean, because it is your family doesn't mean that is right, and it doesn't mean that you have to allow them that. So yeah, I think that that's the key about our generation, that maybe we do not allow our family to hurt us because it's our family. I mean, it's not have no sense. They're supposed to not violence us. Yeah, I believe that.
Thank you very much, Daniela. Okay, since they still haven't said get out, there's another, the microphone is coming to you. We'll take the time for that last half question. They're looking at me like...
Well, first of all, I wanted to make you a compliment. It was a wonderful film. But what I liked especially is it was not only, as I see it, it was not only about violence, it was also about love. And it's so great that you could really, we could realize that it was just the other side of love somehow. It could have been very easy just to show violence, but it was much more.
Thank you. I think I wanted to show the emotional torment someone goes through when they love the person that hurts you. And I think that's how it happens. Otherwise it would be too easy, you know, just to have, you know, this person is violent, this one is not. And that's how the world would be. That would be easier, but it's not. It's more complex than that. So yeah, there's love involved, of course. Yeah. Thank you for your comment.
Well, thank you very much. I think
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations once again. Thank you for being here. This was the first screening, the world premiere, and now there's more screenings in other venues in case you want to spread the word. And keep enjoying the festival. There's still quite a few days to go. So, and thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.